He was always lovely until that night. I had everything planned, our schedule, our life, our future. Until the storm hit. Inside and outside. Everything we built almost collapsed that night. And it wasn't the wind. It's hard to talk about it. But maybe you need to hear this story. Maybe you've been ignoring signs like I did. Because when you love someone too much, sometimes you don't see the silence. My name is Ashley. I'm 29, and I used to dream of traveling the world. I studied tourism, had big plans, my own agency, my brand, my independence. That was the future I saw. I met John at college. It was a small party, a few mutual friends. He wasn't the type to stand out. Quiet. Kind of awkward. A sweet, nerdy guy who liked soccer but never made noise about it. Good at math, neat with numbers, but his room. Total chaos. Still, he was soft-spoken, respectful. And I liked that. I liked the calm. We fell in love slowly, then all at once. After graduation, we got married. John started working for the same company he interned at. I, on the other hand, couldn't find a place in tourism. I felt stuck. Until I discovered digital marketing and started dreaming again. I turned my passion for baking into a business. I had big goals, cakes, content, clients. John didn't have big dreams. He was just there. Present. Supportive. Always listening. Always backing me up. I felt safe with him. We were building a life. A family. At least, that's what I thought. The first months of our marriage felt perfect. I was starting my cake business, posting online, creating content, planning everything with passion, even if money was tight. John supported me with everything. He paid our bills, covered my baking courses, and always said, "Don't worry, I've got us." He didn't like being on camera, but because I wanted to show our daily life on Instagram, he let me film us. I told him it was important for engagement, and he never complained. At home, I handled the schedule. I picked the shows we watched. I set our weekend plans. I booked dinners with my friends, and chose the restaurants. He never argued. "My friends invited me to watch the game," he once said. But I had already planned a dinner with my parents. So he replied, "It's okay, I'll go with you." I thought it was sweet. But now, I realize he wasn't really choosing. He was just following. Quietly. But then, fall came. I never liked the cold, the gray skies, the dry wind. Still, I thought everything was fine. But John started changing. He looked tired all the time. Dark circles under his eyes. He couldn't sleep. He'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling or whisper something while looking out the window. I asked if he was okay. He always said, "I'm fine." So, I left it alone. Then he started forgetting things. Small things. Like eggs. Or vanilla extract. I needed them for my cakes. I got upset. He apologized, ran to the store. And came back with job classifieds and sports newspapers. I didn't even ask. I had everything I needed for my business, and he didn't say anything. So it couldn't be important. He got quieter. He stopped looking me in the eyes. And I pretended not to notice. Sometimes I saw him locked in the backyard, silent. But once inside the house, he just said. I'm tired. I felt something changing, but I pushed the thought away. Until one night. He didn't come home on time. It was pouring outside, and a major storm seemed to be near. And he wasn't answering his phone. That drove me mad. How could he do this? How could he disrespect everything I had planned? Hours later, I heard the door. He walked in. Soaked. Silent. He stood in the doorway, dripping wet. His clothes, his shoes, everything soaked. And he didn't say a word. I exploded. John! You're wetting the whole floor. Where were you? Why didn't you pick up your phone? He said nothing. Just walked past me, leaving muddy footprints. I turned on the TV, trying to ignore the silence, trying to act like everything was normal. But it wasn't. I kept shouting from the living room. Are you even listening? I plan everything for us, and you just disappear. He came back with a towel and started cleaning the mess. I kept going. How was work? Then, it happened. He turned to me, his eyes blank, and pushed me. I fell on the floor. He didn't hurt me. But something between us shattered. The lights went out. Thunder shook the house. I sat on the cold floor, heart racing. I looked up. John stood frozen, staring at me. Then, he slowly walked toward me and raised his hand. I panicked. I couldn't breathe. Tears ran down my face. A lightning flash lit up the room. Sudden and blinding. It snapped him out of whatever storm he was trapped in. He froze and slowly looked at his hand. Then he suddenly dropped to his knees and cried like I had never seen before. I'm sorry, he said. Forgive me, my love. Please. I couldn't speak. I just watched him, broken. Later that night, he told me everything. He had been fired unexpectedly and without explanation. A whole month without a job. He tried to find work, but failed. That night, he went to a bar. He drank. He broke. He said he felt like a failure. That he promised to make me happy when we got married. And now, he couldn't even pay the bills. He didn't know how to speak and open himself to me. I was too busy making my plans, and never gave him the chance to hear what he had to say. That's when we found you, Isabel. After that night, we knew we couldn't keep pretending. We needed help. You showed us the path to something we never really had, real dialogue. I always thought I was doing everything right. I made the plans, I organized our lives, I handled the future. But I never stopped to ask if he felt included in any of it. With you, I learned that I was cutting pieces of him, trying to shape him into my idea of what I expected, when I should have started by simply loving who he was, above all. I didn't listen. I didn't give space. And love, real love, doesn't suffocate. It creates space. Space to grow. Space to breathe. You taught me that helping someone doesn't mean controlling them. I learned that love is giving the other person the freedom to become the best version of themselves. It means guiding gently, helping shape little flaws or natural tendencies with kindness, correcting with love, talking in private, listening deeply. And him, he also had to learn. To speak. To open up. To stop hiding behind "I'm fine." It was hard at first. I had to stop talking so much. And he had to start saying how he felt. But now, we're finding our way, step by step. He has his soccer nights. We sit down to talk every week. We make plans, together. My life was never the same after that night. I became a better wife. And John started to thrive too. We didn't just survive the storm, we grew because of it. Now we support each other. We lift each other up. We're learning how to lead one another towards something greater. Our little imperfections, the daily ones, they're what make our life real. They're what make it beautiful. I used to speak and decide everything on my own. He would just agree. But back then, no storm had come yet. Now I see, storms can be good. They shake what's hidden. They reveal what needs to change. Yes, it was painful. But it brought clarity and brought us together. I also learned something I'll never forget. We can pressure the people we love without even realizing it. That's why we need to self-reflect. Are we creating space for the other person to exist fully? True love requires freedom. Marriage is not about control. It's about helping each other become the best we can possibly be in this world. Talking. Listening. Growing. Loving the little imperfections, and being more united to each other, every day on this earth.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm proud you both chose to rebuild instead of walk away. Some couples break under pressure. But you chose dialogue. You chose love. This story isn't just about one night. It's about everything that came after. About learning to give space, to listen, to speak, to change together. And you? What would you have done? Was she right to forgive him? Should he have hidden the truth for so long? Was she too controlling? Was he too silent? Let me know in the comments. Your voice matters. This was the story of one of my patients at the end of her treatment. Her name was changed, and the details were adapted with her permission. I will keep posting these stories from my psychological consultory to help you learn English and reflect on life. And your story matters too. If you want, share it in the comments and I will do my best to answer you with my therapeutic insights. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, activate the notifications bell and share this video with that friend who might need to hear this story. I see you in the next video.